further hard maps that will help investigating authorities to further dig deeper into the matter. Apart from that, but not limited to it, the zone help one another. No emotions, no bad talking, but all civil discussions. We all agree on that? Yes. Thank you very much. Now let's move on. Si Aman and I are fortunate to have been briefed in the company of the Crisis Management Committee on the findings of the police. Very likely, some matters are in the dark. Would you want us first to request the police to read about all its findings? So everybody will know what happened. I request the representative of city police to make this report. Final findings. Although they're still looking deep into that, so it could be said as initial. May we request the city director, please.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Before we proceed to the suggestion of the chairman, as a basis of this committee, may I therefore ask one of our members to read the letter that was addressed to us earlier, the petition of the Muslim scholar and constituent of Zamboanga City, City Council inquiry about the disappearance of Sheikh Basir Mursalun and the action taken by the law enforcement agency. I will therefore ask Member Myra to read the letter.
Slowly take the podium.
Good morning and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May I be allowed then to read the letter from the Supreme Council for Islamic Preaching and Guidance, Region 9 and Palawan, Central Administration, Salamat Village, San Roque, Zamboanga City, Southern Philippines. This letter dated February 11, 2013, addressed to Honorable Cesar S. Iturralde, Presiding Officer, City Council of Zamboanga City. Attention, Honorable Abdurrahman B. Nuño, Chairman, Committee on Muslim Affairs, regarding petition of the Muslim scholars and constituency of Zamboanga City for a City Council inquiry or public hearing about the disappearance of Sheikh Basir Mursalun and of the actions taken by the law enforcement agencies. Greetings of peace. We, the ulama, Muslim clerics of Zamboanga City, the imams of different mosques and madrasas in the city, under the auspices of the Darul Ifta of Region 9 and Palawan, together with the family and relatives of Sheikh Basir bin Mursalun, as well as the Muslim constituents of Zamboanga City, could no longer keep to ourselves our sentiments and deep concern for our safety and security within the city of Zamboanga. We feel that the protracted silence of the ulama is not anymore in the best interest of the Muslim community of Zamboanga City. Our passiveness has only trivialized the seriousness of the predicament of all the ulama of Zamboanga City as a whole. Our helplessness in striving to address these serious concerns has finally pushed us to the wall. Thus, we now turn to the distinguished members of this august body whom we trusted with our votes to provide redress to our grievances. We would like to bring to your attention, our honorable councilors, the case of Ustaz Basir bin Mursalun, who is our esteemed colleague in the Darul Ifta, an able member of the Committee of Quran Translation, and an outstanding preacher of Islam, especially in drawing away the youths from drugs and other vices. On January 21, 2013, at about 4:40 o'clock in the afternoon, Sheikh Basir was fired upon and abducted by unidentified armed men aboard an SUV and a motorcycle along the Malandi Highway while on his way to another madrasa in another barangay in the city proper. Since then, he has been missing, and up to now, we do not know his whereabouts and whether he is alive or dead. What is strange and frustrating is that the abductors were stranded for almost an hour in a highway right in front or so near the barangay hall of Sinubo, which is not very far from the place of incident due to a flat tire. Yet the police and law enforcers in the area failed to take any action against the perpetrators. Worse, another vehicle came to fetch the abductors and their victim, headed to the city proper, and amazingly was able to pass all the military and police checkpoints despite the fact it has no plate number while carrying the kidnapped victim inside. Witnesses and some residents said that the Labuan police vehicle, with no less than the station commander on board, strangely passed by the stranded vehicle of the abductors and did not attempt at all to rescue the victim nor take any action against the abductors, who were still inside the said vehicle waiting for almost an hour for their backup vehicle. The frustration of the Muslim constituents over the deliberate inaction of the law enforcers during the incident is even aggravated by the unusual sluggishness of the investigation of the case being conducted by the Task Force Basir of the Zamboanga City Police Office. Up to now, after more than 20 days, the supposed best evidence left by the perpetrators on the crime scene, which is the black adventure vehicle, has strangely not yielded any lead towards the possible identity of the abductors. Now, after 20 days, what the Task Force Basir could provide us is only the same information they gave us 20 days ago. How could this be happening? How could the abductors escape with impunity and facility despite being stranded for almost an hour a few meters away from a barangay hall? And also, how could their identity remain a mystery up to now despite them leaving a very telling evidence, their getaway vehicle? This is really mind-boggling and so frustrating as well. The Muslim constituents deserve to know the explanation of all concerned. The case of the mysterious disappearance of Sheikh Basir is of transcendental importance to us because it only confirmed our lingering fear that every Muslim scholar or preacher, especially a graduate of foreign Islamic university, is automatically a terrorist suspect. In fact, the abduction of Ustaz Basir is not an isolated case. We feel that the ulama is no longer safe. We cannot help but fear that possibly anytime any one of us could be the next victim and nothing would also happen. No apprehension and no prosecution of perpetrators. Our worst fear is that the impunity or immunity of the perpetrators will embolden them all the more to repeat this act over and over again. We believe that it is about time the City Council would do something to avert this from happening and to somehow assuage the feelings of the Muslim constituents. We need assurance from our leaders that there is still a rule of law in this beloved city of ours. We need a guarantee that there is no cover-up of the case of Ustaz Basir. Attached is the copy of the barangay clearance of Ustaz Basir, Mursalun, and the affidavits of some witnesses and complainants taken at the CHR and other documents. In view of the foregoing considerations, we respectfully request the City Council of Zamboanga City to immediately conduct a public hearing or inquiry into the case of Sheikh Basir Mursalun with the following suggested purposes. Number 1, to determine if there were lapses by the concerned police and law enforcers in responding to the crime. Number 2, to inquire as to the manner, extent, and objectives of the investigation being made by the Task Force Basir. And number 3, to know the possible abductors and present whereabouts of Sheikh Basir Mursalun. Number 4, to make recommendations for his immediate and safe recovery. Number 5, to aid local legislations on law enforcement, human rights, and the welfare of Muslim constituents of Zamboanga City and other matters relevant to such inquiry. We hope the foregoing petition would merit the immediate approval of the esteemed members of this august body. Thank you very much, and more power. Wassalam. This is being signed by, we have several
32 pages.
32 pages of signature, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Noted. And for the information,